If you're looking for a great football manager tactic for a mid to low league side, well stay tuned because I've got a great tactic for you. Welcome back to the FM network. My name is Steve, otherwise known as Levels, and in today's video we're going to be going over a great Knap tactic. But just quickly before the video starts, if you enjoy any of the content here on the FM network, please make sure you're liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and if you like me, my links will be in the description, but let's get on with the video. As I said in the intro, we've been testing out a Knap tactic which is great for low league sides or mid to low league sides. So for instance, Aston Villa, you can see on the screen here, their board expectation was to avoid a relegation battle, and not only have they finished second in the Premier League, which is insane, they've also gone on to win the Carabao Cup, and they beat Manchester City in the final, so it's not like they had an easy run. They had to beat one of the biggest sides in the competition. With this tactic, I tested it with 3 teams, so it was Aston Villa, which I just showed you, West Ham and Newcastle United. I did Aston Villa and West Ham in the same save and Newcastle in a separate save just to see if anything else happened that was different, but it didn't. But just looking at West Ham, they finished in the top 6 with 71 points, which is quite a lot of points to be fair. They guaranteed themselves European football, and they've also won the FA Cup, beating Liverpool in the final. So again, they're beating the bigger sides to do this well. And the third side we tested it with were Newcastle in their own separate save. They finished 5th with 67 points. They didn't win any trophies, but that's just kind of Newcastle of them, you know, you can't expect miracles with a tactic. Even though Newcastle didn't win any trophies, they still finished in the top 5 fairly comfortably by ahead of Tottenham by 7 points, and their expectation was mid-table. The tactic is producing some really good results here. The tactic is a Knap tactic, as I've said. It's the 4-1-3-2 Holy Ghost Fire, but before getting into the tactic and its roles, we'll just go over some of the competition stuff and the results that it can bring you. So looking at the league table, with Aston Villa, they finished second and quite comfortably in the top 4. They're in the top 4 by 9 points, and second is guaranteed Champions League in the group stage. With the tactics, it's just been plug and play. I haven't changed anything. I haven't bought players that fit the tactic better, which you have to do with some tactics, admittedly. To just go straight in with Aston Villa, West Ham and Newcastle squad and get such good results, the tactic is very, very effective. Also, just quickly looking at the table, Manchester City only lost 2 games in this season, so it's going to be hard to win the league for any of them. But one of the 2 games they did lose was to Aston Villa, so the tactic is a bit of a giant killer. We'll go and have a look at each individual team to see if there's any standout performers who's done well. So Jack Grealish has absolutely thrived. In 41 appearances, he has 17 goals and 17 assists, which is insane. John McGinn, of all players, has 15 goals and 6 assists. Ollie Watkins, would you expect to be playing well, 12 goals and an assist. And Trezeguet as well, 10 goals, 5 assists. They also had Ross Barkley at the squad, but I've simulated too fast, so he's gone back to Chelsea, but he was here for the season. But in 22 games, he had 22 goals and 5 assists and 6 player of the matches, which is ridiculously good for him. And just looking down here, in 29 appearances, he had 29 goals. So he's really thrived in this formation. Any standout performers for West Ham? Pablo Fornals, of all players, has 21 goals in 40 games. He's absolutely thrived. Lanzini's done very well with 16 goals. Jared Bowen, 13 goals and 11 assists. I imagine his value's gone up quite a lot because he's English. Yeah, he's worth 49 million now, so he's thriving. Even players like Thomas Suchek and Mark Noble have done very well, 12 goals and 8 goals respectively. So the formation is getting them goals and getting them wins. Having a look at any standout performers for Newcastle, Miggy Almiron has done amazingly with 26 goals and 6 assists. I'm assuming you're wanted by someone now. Barcelona and Shandong, so he's playing very well in the formation. Rodrigo Vilca, of all players, I've said of all players a few times, but of all players, Rodrigo Vilca, 16 goals and 9 assists. And Jeff Hendrick and Joelinton have both got 8 goals each. Then Alan Saint-Maximin has 5 goals and 5 assists. You might expect him to do a bit better, but when I show you the formation, you'll see there's not really anywhere he specifically fits into it. But all in all, there is some standout performers. Miggy Almiron has turned into a world beater there. If we have a look at some of the detailed stats in the Premier League, you'll notice that this formation is not one where you dominate the ball. If anything, it's a very counter-attacking formation, which is literally what it is. It's a good counter-attacking formation. Both Aston Villa and West Ham are in the bottom 3 in terms of possessions. However, they're both in the top 5 in terms of goals. So although they're not having the ball, they're not just sat back defending. Once they get the ball, they're forward and they score, so it's very effective. And if we look at the goals per games, again, Aston Villa 2nd, West Ham 5th. They're doing very well. And if we look at the expected goals for, both Aston Villa and West Ham are in the top 5 there, creating good chances to score goals, so it's very effective. Maybe one of the most telling stats of this formation is good for guaranteed goals and counter-attacking football is the conversion rate. Aston Villa are almost at 19% now, and West Ham are 17.3%, which is a good like 3-4% in front of Manchester City, Liverpool and Tottenham, sides that you would expect to be very good at creating and converting their chances. So although Aston Villa and West Ham may not have the best players, the tactic isn't exactly suffering from that. If anything, the players are thriving in the system they're in and converting chances way above what their actual skill level is. A stat I wasn't going to look at is possession 1, but West Ham and Aston Villa are both in the top 3 at just getting the ball back once they've lost it. So that speaks volumes to how they get the ball back and then turn them into chances with the other stats I've showed you. So comparing it to Newcastle, which again is in a separate save, because I wanted to see if that changed anything or it was just a one-hit wonder. They're smack bang in 19th position, so again, it's not a possession formation, it's more of a counter-attack. But in goals, Newcastle are 3rd, and as a Newcastle fan, that would be lovely that we'd be that high up. It may not be realistic for Newcastle, but it's a very effective formation. If we look at their expected goals for, again, they're 4th. So although they don't have the ball, they are clearly creating the chances and scoring them. And Newcastle look right up there with their conversion rate of 17.16. Interesting enough, Burnley have 19.4, but we're not focusing on Burnley. Newcastle have done very well there. And also comparing the possession one to the other one, Newcastle are right at the top, so they're good at getting the ball back, going forward and scoring, speaking volumes to how effective the counter-attack is. Looking at the schedule, you get quite a good feel of the tactic. So you can see here, 7-0 on the opening day from Aston Villa against Southampton, 4 goals against Crystal Palace, 3 goals against Brighton. There's a lot of goals being scored. They're not exactly struggling to score. Like 5-0 against West Brom, 4-0 against Everton. Yeah, they might have an occasional off day, but that's the same with any team. The formation clearly gets you goals, and a lot of them at that. It might not be the best defensively. They're conceding 2, 4. They're conceding a lot, but you score more than the opposition, then what does it matter, really? Comparing that with West Ham in the Premier League, again, they're scoring a lot of goals. 5 goals, 3 goals. 4 against Southampton, 4 against Crystal Palace. Interestingly enough, with the formations against each other, Aston Villa won 5-2 over them, so it's just a lot of goals and not much defending. The formation is basically guaranteeing you goals. There's a lot going in. Yeah, you might concede a couple here or there, but if you're scoring way more than them, it doesn't matter. So looking at Newcastle's fixtures, they're scoring a lot of goals. Interestingly enough, not as much as the other two, it doesn't look like. Actually saying that, 6-2 there, 6... Okay, they're beating Arsenal 6-2 and Liverpool 6-2, then 8-1 at Brighton. Okay, so don't ignore that. They're clearly scoring a lot of goals. The formation is very effective at getting your players to create those chances and finish them as well. And as I said earlier, Aston Villa went on to win the Carabao Cup against Manchester City 3-0, and West Ham went on to win the FA Cup, beating Chelsea along the way and Liverpool in the final. So the tactic is very effective at getting results, even in the cup competitions as well. But that's enough about the success that you can have of it. Let's just jump into the actual tactic itself. So here is the Knap tactic. Like I said earlier, it's the Holy Ghost Fire Knap tactic 4-1-3-2. The formation plays a sweeper keeper on attack with ease off tackles as the added instruction. If it's in light green, it's an added instruction. If it's in darker green, it's part of the role already. I won't really go over the ones that are part of the role already, otherwise I'll just be talking at you for ages. The formation also uses 2 ball playing defenders on defend with the instruction of pass it shorter. One of the key roles in the formation is the inverted wingback. They don't have any added instructions, but I haven't really used inverted wingbacks much prior to this, so I'll just go over what it is. So with the inverted wingback, defensively, they function like a normal fullback or wingback would, but on attack, while an inverted wingback normally stays wide and overlaps, the inverted wingback will come inside to support the defensive midfielder, especially if there's someone already in front of him. So visually looking at that, the inverted wingback will probably be playing in these positions here, which, as you can clearly see, would crowd this area of the pitch a lot. So when they lose the ball, it's a lot easier for them to get the ball back and go forward. And then that allows the front 5 to go on and try and score, which, as we saw with the statistics, clearly happens a lot. But both sides are inverted wing-backs, no added instructions. The defensive midfielder in this formation is a deep line playmaker on support. He doesn't have any added instructions. Also, just quickly to note, on their player instructions, they're not marking anyone specifically. None of them are marking anyone specifically, just to get that out there. The formation also uses 2 wide midfielders on support on both sides with no added instructions, but as you can see, their default instructions are quite a lot. So if you want to pause it and have a look at it, that's great, but when you select it, it will select it for you. Just make sure you're selecting support. And then the other midfielder is a central midfielder on automatic with no added instructions. And then up top are 2 shadow strikers on attack with shoot less often, tackle harder, and mark tighter. Even though it's shoot less often, they still score a lot of goals. I found that quite interesting myself. I haven't used shadow strikers much, but as I said earlier, I've not bought anyone to fit the formations or anything like that. We've just used the default squads for Newcastle, West Ham and Aston Villa, and the players have thrived. So I wouldn't necessarily get put off if you don't think you have wide midfielders or you don't think you have shadow strikers in your squad. I still think the tactic is 100% worth trying with it. And then in your own saves, you can buy players that fit the roles better. If we're having success with Aston Villa's default squad finishing second in the Premier League with no additions to help fit the formation, think about if you actually bought the right players for it, how good the team could actually be. With the tactic, there is corner routines and throw-in routines, I think, so let's have a look. Yeah, so here's the corner routine of defend and attack, and it's the exact same on the other side, I'm pretty sure it is. Out of curiosity, let's see how effective that was actually. With the corner tactic, if we look back at the stats quickly, Aston Villa had the 2nd most goals from corners and West Ham were up there in, is that joint 5th? They had 8 goals. They had 8 goals from corners, so it's very effective, the corner routine. The tactic also has a throw-in tactic with the same as both sides, of throw it long which I imagine is creating a lot of goals because throw-ins are overpowered for whatever reason in this Football Manager, but it is what it is. But that is going to do it for the video. I'll leave you looking at this screen of Aston Villa finishing second and winning the Carabao Cup, and West Ham 6th, winning the FA Cup in the first season. Again, I genuinely think that's nuts. I haven't done anything with a tactic. I've literally just plugged and played, not signed anybody, and it's created that amount of success. So get downloading this tactic, and in your saves, buy people who fit the formation more and see what success you could have, because I imagine you're going to go on and dominate with it realistically. If Aston Villa can do it with Ross Barkley, you know. No shade to Ross Barkley, but you know what I mean. Keep commenting down below how it works for you. I'm looking forward to reading all the comments. Make sure you like the video and you subscribe to the channel, and check me out as well. My links will be in the description. Another big shout out to the FM Network for having me on. I've had a great time testing out this tactic, and I'm looking forward to more videos in the future. But that'll be all from me, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.